Welcome everyone, this is my first Minecraft video on the channel, and today I'm going to survive 10 days in hardcore Minecraft. It doesn't sound like much, but for someone who has never played hardcore, I could very possibly die in the first 20 minutes. Please watch to the end and subscribe and enjoy the video. On day 1, I spawned in, looked around, and saw that I had spawned in a tundra. It had a full river fully frozen over and lots of spruce wood. I looked to see if I had spawned near any villages or other structures, but no luck. I then proceeded to get some wood by chopping down a tree and made a crafting table. After that, I started adventuring for a good spot to set up camp. On the way, I saw some cows that would look good for food. This was important because in hardcore, you can actually die from hunger, so it is good to stay fed. Then I kept on exploring and came around a dark little area under a mountain and got curious, so I looked around for a bit, but almost immediately found a creeper. So I ran away and planned to stay away for a long time. I ran for a little while and came across exposed cobblestone and a little coal. So I mined a bit, then I decided to use my crafting table and make a stone pick, and then mine some more. After I had plenty of cobblestone, I decided to make a furnace and some more stone tools. After all of that, I decided to keep exploring, but I was getting super tired of walking, so then I had a great idea. I remembered that on ice, boats are actually extremely fast, so I crafted one up real quick, and I was going so fast I could barely control it. That's when I knew that exploring was going to be much easier. Not much later, I actually managed to stumble upon a ruined portal. I opened the chest and actually got some pretty good loot. It was just straight gold. I mean, there was gold armor, gold carrots, gold nuggets, you name it. This gave me a huge boost of triumph because it was only day 1 and I already had pretty good loot. I decided to move on after I looted the chest and found where the tundra switched into a forest biome. I decided that this would be where I would settle down because it had spruce wood, which is great for building, and had lots of other trees, and even better, had a ton of leaf litter all over the place, which is basically like an unlimited source of fuel given that I can get stacks of it in about a minute and use it for my furnace. As I was exploring the forest, I ran across a sheep. I was pretty excited because that meant I was closer to getting to bed. I got even more excited when I saw 2 more side by side. This meant that I could now safely sleep through the night and not have to deal with all the monsters, which will make this challenge a lot easier. Then I started to see some fish in the water that wasn't frozen because it was in the forest biome, so I decided to see if I could catch any with my sword since I didn't have a fishing rod. It was a little difficult, but I managed to do it, and in the end I had gotten 3 salmon. After that, I grabbed some additional wood so I will have some for day 2. It started getting a little dark, so I ran to the ice, set down my furnace crafting table, and made myself a bed and slept under the open stars. Day 2 started, and it was a beautiful morning. I ate the steak I had started the night before, and out of the corner of my eye, I saw a gold block sticking up. And I soon realized it was one that spawns on top of ruined portals. I figured it was just the one I'd visited earlier, but I decided to still check it out anyway. On my way there, I also spotted an igloo, which I decided I'd explore on my way back from the portal. When I got to the portal, I realized it was a different one, and I opened the chest and realized that there was only trash in it. The only thing that was kind of helpful was a lodestone, and I guess there was flint and steel, but other than that, it was basically just more flint. I also realized there was a large lava pool next to the portal though, and this was great because this meant as soon as I found iron, I could technically go to the nether. I started adventuring over to the igloo and saw that it was very simple inside, just a bed, a furnace, a crafting table. Most people would have walked away, but I knew what was truly here. I walked around destroying the carpet until I found the secret trapdoor to the basement. In the basement, I looted the chest, which had pretty bad loot other than the golden apple, which I knew was to be used with the weakness potion I found on the brewing stand to cure the zombie villager that was hidden in the dungeon. After that, I grabbed the potion off the brewing stand and did make the mistake of digging into the walls to try to find the dungeon. Turned out there was silverfish buried in them. I climbed the ladder as fast as I could and realized that I forgot the brewing stand. I carefully crept down the ladder, broke the stand, and left as fast as possible. I returned to the base and chopped more wood for the house, thinking I had found everything around me. As I was chopping though, I saw a shipwreck sitting out of the water. I could not believe my luck. I immediately boated over and looked for chests. It was a pretty small wreck, so I wasn't sure there were going to be any, but there actually was one. I opened it and found some enchanted leather armor, some garbage, and some good crops, like potatoes and carrots, so overall, it wasn't bad. After that discovery, I went back to chopping trees, emptied some of my loot into my chest, and started to make charcoal. After that, I went to sleep after a very productive day. Day 3 started with me having the quick realization of I was sick of sleeping under the stars. It was time to put a roof over my head. I decided to put up 4 pillars of spruce logs and I made them 3 blocks tall. While I was mining, I did stumble upon some coal, which is always welcome. After that, I decided I was sick of mining, so I returned to the base. Once I got there, I removed charcoal from my furnace that started the night before and decided to smelt my cobblestone so I could make stone bricks. I was just going to do cobblestone on the house, but the bricks will look so much better. I also made torches and, as sick of it as I was, returned to mining. I discovered more coal and got another half stack of good old cobblestone. I was going to need a lot of stone if I was to build this house. After doing that, I finally put the sugarcane I'd collected on day 1 to good use and started a sugarcane farm. It is extremely humble, but it will do for now. Some of my stone was done smelting, so I was now able to make some stone bricks. I placed them around the floor of my house and started on the actual floor. I decided on a checkerboard pattern between spruce and oak because that always looks nice. Finally, it was time to sleep after another day of hard work. Day 4, I started working on my floor some more, but forgot that I had an oak right in my hotbar, so I spent some of the day just doing some more chopping. After that, the floor was fully constructed. I then started to work on some walls. I grabbed a little more wood though, added some height to the pillars, and figured that I may as well move all my stuff inside. After going through the pain of moving a chest, I went back to the mine for some more stone. I started smelting it, and then it was time for a door. I decided to go with oak because I like how it looks with the windows in it. The last thing I did was watch the sunset and went back to sleep. Day 5 started pretty slow. It was just a lot of me adding a little bit of progress on the walls and going on another wood chopping trip. Almost immediately, it started snowing, and it was weird because I was on the border of 2 biomes, so when I crossed the border, it was snowing, and when I crossed back, it was raining. I finally finished all of my walls and kept gathering materials. I didn't really find anything really interesting, just your average mining and chopping campaign. After numbing my brain with all of that, I spiced up the house a bit by putting some torches in it and also adding some trapdoors on the outside for detail. Day 6 was a sunny one. I got out of my house and decided to gather some nearby pumpkins since it was the halfway point in this challenge. After that, it was back to chopping because I started to fall behind on my house. After I got a good amount of logs, I decided to put some spruce stairs around the house and make some garden beds, and I think it turned out okay. Now that I had most of the outside done, it was time to work on the roof. I went with an oak plank second floor, added some ladders to get up, and then put spruce stairs going around the edge of the roof. That way it had an overhang, which always looks nice. Then I started working on the actual roof. I went with an A-frame that would have a small storage room inside of the roof. I played around with some different styles and decided to make a chimney on the back side of the house so you could have more room to get into the ceiling. On day 7, the spirit of the lumberjack was back, and I gathered a lot more wood. Now I should have enough to finish the house entirely. Then it was back to construction. I started by placing wood stairs on one side and making the chimney. The plan was for oak planks to be on the sides of the A-frame and then spruce stairs for the actual roof. I used some stone bricks to make the top of the chimney, used some spruce slabs where the peak was, lit the inside of the ceiling with torches, and finished the roof. I also went around the chimney with slabs I had left. I went off the roof and looked at it, and I didn't like the look of the oak planks. It was just not textured enough, so I decided to remove them and find something better in the morning. Day 8 came and I knew what I wanted to do. I decided to do a bottom level of stairs around the bottom of the roof and then some spruce trapdoors. As you can see, this looked way better, so I went and did the other side as well. Now the roof was completely done, and I also had a good space for storage when I needed it, and also escaping mobs if they swarmed to the first floor. My next task was to finish the house entirely, so I ran to a nearby sandbar and got enough sand for the windows I needed. I decided to do glass panes because they're more cost effective and just look better. Now the house was complete. I decided to harvest my sugarcane that has been growing in the background and decided to watch the sunset as a reward for all my hard work. Day 9 started with me collecting more wood for a garden. I started building it and it was actually going very well, but I soon realized that I had overlooked one thing when I had started construction. A farm needs water, and I had built it in the ice pile. This meant that my water would freeze and be useless now. In the end, I decided to just scrap the whole thing and instead of destroying it, just call it the start of a cattle pen. I sadly used all my spruce wood for that though, so it was back to chopping. I chopped and chopped and chopped until I could not chop any longer. About halfway through, I just started clearing the area for the actual garden. I put it over by my sugarcane farm, so it was all by each other. And then by the time I did that, the sun had set on me, so it was time for bed. It was finally day 10. Since it was the last day of the challenge, I wasted no time and continued on the garden. I cleared what area was left and then started gathering all of the materials necessary. Now it was finally time to build. I went with the standard spruce stair edge and then filled it with dirt. In the middle, I made a nice little spruce canal and made room for a possible scarecrow. After finishing the construction on the garden, it was time to plant it. I planted some potatoes, carrots, and the one wheat seed I had found. After that, day 10 had come to a conclusion along with this challenge. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and also I hope you consider subscribing because it is a lot of work that goes into these videos. Please like and comment and subscribe if you want to see another 10 days in the future.